So this is a breadboard.
Some good sound whiting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He knows. This guy knows.
I am younger, but I know this too. That when I thought I had that same thought when I was like waving at the Wi-Fi earlier. I was like, sorry, go on.
So the breadboard is for. It's not for bread, not at all. I don't know why it's called a breadboard. We'll have to edit that in.
I'm gonna ask the internet.
There you go. The internet hardly knows or has an opinion.
Yeah.
That will tell you.
So the breadboard is a way that you can set up circuits temporarily, prototype them, or just leave them that way, whatever you need. So these, so you have a bunch of holes to plug in wires or pins, and let's jump to this one. So, or I'll just move these over. So here's a printed circuit board, which is made by SparkFun. It's called a sound detector, and I have already soldered these header pins onto it, which was not at all a pain in the butt like unlike the mango pie pins. So we want to stick that into some pins on the board, and
What is inside of the plastic?
so inside the plastic is something
Is
like
that-
this.
Okay, I see.
So what it does for you is when you put a board in here, horizontally, all of these are connected. So now this this second pin is VCC for voltage. So when I stick this pin in here, it's the same as
That
holding this wire
Yeah, okay.
against the VCC.
I see.
And what does VCC stand for?
Voltage. Voltage common connector, something like that.
Okay.
But that's your positive voltage.
So it's a way to just like let you plug things into each other without soldering them.
Yeah,
Just let you
yeah.
do that until you get it right.
I have
Yep.
Wikipedia. They don't explicitly say this, but I'm assuming the word breadboard came from the fact that it says this very first paragraph in the history is, in the early days of radio, amateurs nailed bare copper wires or terminal strips to a wooden board, often literally a bread cutting board, and soldered electric components to them. So like they literally used to just stick them together on a board of wood. And they're like, sometimes the paper schematic diagram was glued onto the board as a guide to place the terminals.
Oh, that makes sense.
But yeah, and then now they have a picture just like your yellow one here to show the inside.
Oh,
how they're all
cool.
lined up. I have actually used a breadboard before, a long time ago.
Cool. So typically, you're going to take like the Raspberry Pi. Well, you're going to have a power source. So you're going to have voltage and ground, and your boards are typically going to need voltage and ground. So these rails that are like, let's call them vertical, these are connected this way, instead of horizontally. So when you put power anywhere on this rail, you have power everywhere on the rail. So if we had power hooked up, then the sound detector would get power.
Gotcha.
And
Does that have anything to do with like sequence and series stuff? So those are in series. I'm just trying to think of physics because like there's sequence and series stuff. I don't know. I'm wondering.
yeah,
It's been a long time since
I don't know if I can eloquently respond.
Okay, that's okay. I was just wondering if you're like, oh yes, that's how this works. But yeah, no worries.
So I'll hook up ground. So here's ground. And I've got it on the rail that will have ground, but it doesn't yet. And let's see. So I have some connectors here. So I usually use red for voltage and black for ground. I don't have those, so we'll get close. So that's hook that up to a 5-volt pin on the Mango, and I'm putting that on the rail. And there's a number of ground pins, and on the Mango Pi, I love the headers on this because they're color coded. So I know the black ones are all ground. So we'll hook that up to ground rail. And now we're gonna need.
So you're gonna deliver power through the Mango Pi to the board.
Yes, exactly.
So we need to plug it into something.
Yeah.
There's another behind me.
We can plug it into a
Yeah,
computer.
there you
That'll
go.
work. What kind of cable? You USB-C to USB-C?
Yeah, and I have cables.
Okay.
Here's one.
Also have cables.
Cool.
That's A to C though. Do you need C to C?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
I have that big long
Space.
cable we were using. Yeah, I have one.
It's right behind me. What's up?
Okay.
We still recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still
So
rolling.
Yeah.
we're rolling.
It's all about editing.
So yeah,
Some good B-roll.
I'm pretty sure this one is an HDMI. There's like HDMI mini and micro, but I'm not positive. Now, one of these is just for power, and the other one is for power and USB. And I think on this one, I think this is the one that does both. So now we've plugged in the Pi.
Oh, look at that.
And this is the sound detector. So you see the light is going on, so it's actually detecting
Oh, it's
sound.
detecting this top. Oh, I see. Neat. All right, everybody be totally silent.
But we've seen that it sticks on for some reason. We don't know why. So it may be doing that right now. Are you going off? No. So I'm gonna reboot it. And now it's
That's awesome.
yeah, now it's working.
Super cool.
So that's all just demonstrating how we get powered.
So the idea
this
would be
board
now,
over
like-
breadboard.
Gotcha. So you could detect the sound on here and then have some program running on here that would do something about it?
Yep.
Gotcha.
And Bonnie and I did that today.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, because you're working on the smoke detector, right?
The sound to light converter, which can be used for smoke detectors and fire alarms that deaf people can notice.
So then you just put it in a room that has a regular one, so they don't have to like
Yeah.
convert. Yeah, that makes sense. They don't have to convert what's there. And plus, then it's accessible to everyone, right? And absolutely everyone should be able to know.
So I guess do you get like a like a decibel level or something coming into the Pi that'll let you?
Great question. So, don't stick on. You're being bad for the demo.
Demos are when things always break.
True.
Are you gonna behave? Now it's behaving. Okay, so this sound detector has a few outputs. The one we got working is the gate output.
Oh, gotcha. So it's just on or off.
Gate is on or off, yeah. So it is exactly the same as what you see with the blinking light. We were able to get a NERS project going and you know, detect the, you know, the pin either being 0 or 1. To complete the project, we're going to need to get the envelope pin working. And so far, I have not succeeded in doing that because it's more complicated, which is why we have this analog to digital converter board.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this board, so basically the envelope output is, well, the gate output is either going to be 0 volts or 5 volts. The envelope pin is going to be somewhere between 0 and 5 volts, depending on the volume.
Gotcha.
So the Raspberry Pi does not have any analog inputs. Some boards do. The BeagleBone Black does.
I hear a lot about this BeagleBone Black.
The BBB.
People seem to love this thing.
The Arduino boards usually have analog inputs. We don't, but we've got this guy. So if we can make this work.
I messed with Arduino stuff. I was like, wait, I know. This was only because I taught a class that we had to use Arduinos.
Yeah.
When I taught Girls Who Code, we actually did a brief little Arduino unit at the end, and that's when I was like, ooh, breadboards, ooh, little flashy LEDs. I've never done this before. Yes, I learned a lot as the teacher.
That's the best way, right?
Yes.
So what's next? We can go into the NERS world and see how to build a NERS app.
Got mixed attention.
Let me show you one other thing. So let me show you this Pi Cobbler. So this is effectively just an extension cord that goes from your main board pins to the breadboard. So instead of having to, and I'll be good and unplug the thing before I change any wires. So instead of having to look for these wires, you have this breadboard. And we can use normal wire connectors instead of female to male. Normal, well, and we can use male to male connectors. So 5 volts
Oh, I see.
to the plus side, and then ground to the minus side. And now when we plug in,
That seems mighty convenient.
yeah, now we have power. So yeah, it's a little easier to find these labeled pins than looking at the board. And you can look at pinout.xyz to get the layout of Raspberry Pi's pins. And I think they're actually, be ready to edit this out if I'm wrong, but I think the pin configurations are the same for all the pies and for the mango pie. And I'm almost certain that the mango pie and the Pi Zero have the exact same pins, because this is really trying to be a drop-in replacement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, software.
Mm-hmm.